Hi guys, welcome back to day 5, and this prompt on this one is, what spirits do you work with at this time and how do you connect to them? Well, that is something that's right down my alley, and yes, I do. I connect really strongly with all the spirits at this time, and it's about being present, I would say. Being present, making time for them, seeing them in the things that's happening around you. And that can be from divination or path workings or just meditations or just sitting very quietly and trancing. Now what I mean by that is people wonder, what is the trancing? Well, first of all, the spirits that I like to work with. I work with Freya and I work with Hel, but in the aspect of the Valkyries, because even Hel helps out with the Valkyries, and so there is a link there. And also that brings in the dead, it brings in those that have passed, so there's a big link there. I also work with my guides and helpers. I also work with extraterrestrial beings in a very subtle way, and I know that's a very controversial subject for a lot of people, but all I can say is that as a Seder practitioner, I do go journeying, I do go venturing, and I go to places that are unknown, unseen. Now when you say extraterrestrial, it means it's different, it's another terrestrial being, but it's somewhere else, but you don't know where from. All I can say is that I work in my dreams with those, and I go to set places where I meet them and they teach me things. And so yes, so they're included, and obviously my ancestors, they are very important at this time of the year because it links me with the death realm. And so it's also a time, because of the darkness of the year, because of the going within, it can become very enticing and very pulling you in. There is one that is more lighter in my eyes, but brings me back to the world slightly, but has also got her dark time of the year part, and that is Skadi. And so you can see here, my picture here is denoting Skadi, the sister of wolves, and she is a big influence at this time of the year. But it's basically connecting with them, and it's being willing to connect. So you can do things to help. I keep earth from the graveyard in a jar. And the reason I do that, guys, is because if you can't get to the graveyard, if you can't get anywhere like that, you've got it in a pot, and you can put it in your hand, and you can just go with the feeling that comes from it. Now I take that from my daughter's grave, so I know who is laying there, and I know that there's no harm going to come through that. And she's a little baby, so she's not going to hurt anyone, is she? And so even though I can't connect to her, I can connect to her essence, which is wonderful, and it brings me a bit of comfort as well. So that's what's in here, the earth from her grave. I go to my mother and father's grave sometimes and sit there and just meditate, and we call that Utasita, which is sitting in the close proximity of death, of those that have gone before. And if you sit there long enough with your head covered, which I showed you in another video where you just wear like a headscarf over, and you just know you're not going to be disturbed, so you can sit there peacefully. Try to do it when it's getting dark or getting darker, and just sit for as long as you need to, and you will make contact. That communication will come through. You'll always be kept safe by your guides and helpers and your inner knowing, which is your protection. But it is something that we renownedly do in Seder. We get a lot of our answers from that. And because the veil is thinner at this time of the year, it helps immensely to connect. But if you want to connect indoors, which I do regularly, just lighting a candle and making 5 minutes for them, just saying a few words to them and saying thank you for being there and can you aid me today, just giving that time and that willingness to be present. Then you can pull a rune or a card or use your crystal. There are many ways. Divination is possible. I've done divination while doing the washing up with the soap suds, could you believe? It's amazing what you can do with what you've got available. Doesn't always have to be an expensive item. So yeah, that's what I do to connect, guys. I hope it's been a help for some of you, or you know, I can't wait to see what other people say. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody else's videos. And so I'm going to leave it there. So wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Lang.